Hello, and welcome to episode 97 of Anime Territory. I am your host this week, Benjamin Shabby, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Johnny Baller Girl Bathwater, Ruha.
You just had to take my one note from that anime.
I told you I was writing it down.
Okay. That didn't mean it was going to be my nickname. No, so what's the implication of this nickname? Am I made of Baller Girl Bathwater? Do I buy Baller Girl Bathwater? Am I a proprietor of Baller Girl Bathwater?
Yes. I would say in that context, you would be the bathwater.
I am the bathwater. Okay.
Yeah. So
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's
that makes me come off as really creepy.
Mm-hmm. Well.
So this is what you think of it.
Okay. So, what is it? This is episode 97. I will say, we are going to release this one before episode 96. We have 96 recorded already, but we're switching the schedule around because it makes more sense to have this episode before 96.
Yeah. So this is our fall anime 2024 season episode. And we already had a bunch of episodes recorded before we were ready to record this one. So we put them on the docket. And then we're like, we're already like half.
Over half.
Yeah, the season is at halfway through at time of record. Mm-hmm. We are only covering the first quarter of the season.
Yep.
If we wait another 2 weeks for this one, then hey, it's going to be even more out of date.
Yes.
I saw the other day that Giguk released his fall preview. Now, to be fair, he is a professional YouTuber, and that is his job.
Yes.
Whereas we make no money doing this and have full-time jobs.
Yes.
With conflicting schedules at times.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so
yeah,
we're going to cover, what do we decide, 8?
Yes.
7
together.
And a half.
Yeah.
Cause
7 plus the one that you're watching by yourself.
Yeah. We're only watch the first 3 episodes of each of these shows.
Correct.
And then we'll probably decide on air if we're going to keep watching them or not.
Okay.
Do we want to say what those shows are real quick?
Sure.
Okay. We watched the first 3 episodes of Blue Box, Dan to Dan, 365 Days to the Wedding, Mecha Ude, Negative Positive Angler, Ranma 1/2 remake. Mm-hmm. My wife became an elementary school student, and I am watching Dragonball Daima.
Okay.
I don't know why. I thought I might have missed one that we were watching because it felt really short, but
nope, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's the list. We had a few other ones on the list, but like I'm gonna watch the new season of ReZero eventually. It's probably just gonna be a while.
Gotcha.
Some of these other shows, I don't know. I might get bored and watch it. Mm-hmm. We'll figure it out. For now, we're covering those shows.
So we're just going to start with what I wrote down first, which is my wife will become an elementary school student.
It's not my wife will become, it's my wife.
I wrote down what Wikipedia had.
You probably got like a more direct translation as opposed to a localized translation.
Mm-hmm. Also called Suma Show.
Suma Show.
Yes. So, plot of this show is guy's wife dies. 10 years later, he's still not over the death of his wife. She comes back in the form of a 10-year-old elementary school teacher. Or, not teacher. Elementary school student. She is a 10-year-old elementary school student, and it's a little weird.
Yes.
That's the basic plot. Do you have anything to say about this show?
I do. Don't really like the animation style on this one.
I
mean, a lot of times it's pretty bland, but other times, I don't know, I'm just not liking it, not digging it.
No, that's the other show.
Okay. I have a note here that says, I took that Detective Conan Muppet Baby drug.
What?
That's what this show is about.
Oh,
she took the Detective Conan Muppet Baby. She's like, I didn't die. I just took that Detective Conan Muppet Baby drug.
Gotcha.
The drug that turns Detective Conan into a Muppet Baby. Wait, no. The drug that turns Shinichi Kudo into Detective Conan and turned the Muppets into babies. Mm-hmm. Because Muppet Babies came after Muppets. That's the whole premise there. I have a few predictions or a prediction about this show.
Okay.
So it's a. And this was maybe a prediction I wrote after the first episode, because very much first episode is about how this guy needs to move on with his life.
Yes.
And be done grieving, or he's not really grieving properly, and therefore he can't move on. Mm-hmm. So I wrote down that I'm calling this as a temporary thing. Once he moves on from her death, she will no longer inhabit the body of that child.
Yes. I wrote Jack Frost. The movie Jack Frost.
Yeah, I was more trying to draw lines to maybe Anohana. You watched Anohana with me, right?
I don't know if I watched it with you, but I definitely watched it.
Okay. Where it's hey, this supernatural thing is happening, and then everybody gets closure, and then the supernatural thing stops happening.
Yes.
Spoilers for Anohana. 13-year-old, 14-year-old anime at this point. Mm. I had other things I wanted to talk about. So, in this show, the tone is a little all over the place. It's silly, and then it's, melodramatic, but not in, a funny, I'm aware of the fact that we're being melodramatic way, but in a look at us, we're so
mom
sad.
Might be abusive melodramatic?
Yeah.
Emotionally abusive?
Yeah, it's I was going to call that energy that it brings dark.
Okay.
Whereas the melodramatic one was more the I'm so sad that my wife died sort of thing.
Okay.
And then, his strained relationship with his daughter. But then it's and we're going to introduce some dark themes like abuse. And I'm just but you just took her to the aquarium. I don't know. It's going all over the place, and you can do that. Mm-hmm. And Ohana being a good example of hey, there are some really silly moments in that show, and some really serious moments in that show, and some really sad moments in that show.
But that show doesn't.
But it pulls it off. It's executed well, and this one I just feel is hitting the mark. This one is not hitting the mark. That's what I'm trying to say.
This one, it starts with an uphill battle of your wife is a 10-year-old now, and you're you are treating it differently. They don't take it too far, but it's still just it's a weird thing to get used to, I guess.
Mm. Yeah, it's just I get nervous that they're just gonna slip up in public and say something, and then the bit will happen where somebody will be hey, did you just say that 10-year-old girl is your wife? You're getting arrested,
and
sir.
they'll be yeah, but you don't understand. She's been dead for 10 years. What?
It's...
Sorry. The one thing I will say is this show does have the potential to, I think, have good themes and stuff in terms of the closure that we're predicting.
Yeah.
It didn't start out very good.
Yeah, it's maybe it'll fucking nail the landing, but it's a rough entry. That's,
I guess what is it? Not rating, but would I watch this? My answer is no, unless they say it gets good.
Yeah, unless somebody's no, it gets good. Somebody that I trust, which means nobody on Reddit.
Who do you trust?
Oh,
I feel like you don't trust anyone.
I don't. That's the if David Sims goes on Blank Check and says, "Hey, you been watching this show? I've been watching this show, and it's good." If he comes on and says that, I'll be all right, I get it. Not Griffin Newman, not Ben Hosley. I don't trust him with this type of stuff.
Okay.
I trust him with other things, but if David Sims is no, this anime was good, I'd be yeah, I'll give it a second shot, David.
Okay. But yeah, again, I'm passing on this one unless I hear they stick the landing.
And it's not so much like if it's a single like comment. If there's a bunch of like GIFs posted and stuff like that, well then maybe I'll trust what I hear on Reddit, you know. But like if I'm in the comments for, hey, what's another anime like Toradora I can watch? And I'm just like, I liked this one. I'd be like, did you though? Is it good? Somebody recommended Shuffle the other day in the Toradora subreddit, and I'm like, Shuffle sucked ass.
Don't think I've ever heard that one before.
Don't watch it. It sucked ass.
Okay.
It's fucking rom-com with a supernatural twist.
Ooh, shocker.
And the what are you gonna call it? So there's like two main like supernatural like entities where they're like, you have to marry our daughters or whatever. Like that's the setup. And it got like praised by people by saying, hey, this harem anime he actually chooses a girl and it has an ending. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then like he just chooses a girl that has nothing to do with the setup of you need to marry one of these two warring factions. And I'm like, okay. That's fine. But again, the execution just wasn't there. Just did not care for that show.
Anything else to say?
So I had another thought about this. Maybe this is getting too deep for our talk about this show. Everything I just said, but I want to talk about reincarnation for a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
So I have seen reincarnation depicted in anime two different ways. Well, I guess technically three, but I'm not counting like traditional isekai reincarnation where you're just yourself all of a sudden in a fantasy world. But when you're actually like reincarnated as another person in a fantasy world, there is the Mushoku Tensei route where you are conscious of the fact that you are a reincarnated entity at birth. Like that baby had the full dude's memories since he was born. Or there is what Ascendance of a Bookworm does, where they kind of like the soul inhabited another body. Like, so in Ascendance of a Bookworm, this young girl at the age of like 3 was like had a like super high fever and would have died otherwise. Like she just didn't have the strength, the will to keep fighting the disease in her body, which is when the other soul like took over, unconsciously took over, and then she was able to survive. And like characters draw attention to that. They're like, hey, you're not the same person. Like you act differently.
Even though it happened at 3?
It was like another like child that was their age, and 3, 4, somewhere around there. But it was like another kid that's like, I have vivid memories, and you are way less timid, you know, and your personality is just like drastic. Like her parents don't figure out, you know, and neither does like her sister, but her friend or whatever does, and you know it's a point of contention, and they're like, okay, you know, hey. I can leave, or like I'll like try to stop existing or somehow, but the other person's not coming back. Like they're dead, and I'm sorry for that. Like I don't mean to take over this body, but
I got you.
Which I thought was, hey, that's cool.
How cool?
And I don't know if they're gonna handle something like that as tactfully well. Like I could see this. Did we get informed of when she realized she was reincarnated? It was recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. She was starting to regain memories recently.
So like they may try to pull off the other person is like having a mental break from abuse or something, and like it just feels like they're not going to handle it well.
Yeah,
like they're going to try to bring in a dark thing like that, and they're just going to fumble it. But anyway. That's all my notes. That's the show I had the most notes on. Okay. Because of course I just I start strong and then I'm like, yeah, My notes for Dan to Dan were good. I wrote that like right before we started recording. I'm like, I should have some sort of note for Dan to Dan, right? Mm-hmm. My only note for Blue Box was Baller Girl Bathwater.
So, next anime is Mecha Ude, Mechanical Arms.
Yeah. I almost backed this Kickstarter back in the day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I remember, like, it was kind of expensive, and it was just for, like, a short.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if I wanted a physical copy of the short, it was, I don't know, it was too much. So I thought about, like, trying to go halvesies with our friend who's not been on this podcast. The one that we always reference. And I just don't like saying names of people that aren't on the show for their privacy reasons. And I don't think anything ever came of it. Okay. And then when this came out, I'm like, wait a minute, I recognize this shot. This is something in the trailer for this. Hey, I've seen this. Sort of. I never watched the original short. And also there was a sequel to the short. But I didn't watch either of those. But I'm glad to see... Excuse me. I'm glad to see that it's getting a full show. The Kickstarter was like one person wanting to do animation and be like, hey, I've been doing animation non-professionally for a while. Let's try to do this professionally. So I'm glad for them. Good for them. I like this show. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to watch more of this show.
Yeah.
It's just sort of fun sci-fi, action show with some, possible romantic side plots and comedic asides. Mm-hmm. Like, that girl likes cookies. That's funny.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
She's got dual arms.
Ben, I have dual arms too.
You know what I mean. So basic plot is this world there are aliens that are basically just like extra limbs. They're like
mechanical limbs that attach,
sentient mechanical limbs that attach to people. And,
or sweatshirts.
So our main character Hikaru bonds with Alma, who possesses the power of Trigger Arm, which we don't exactly know what that is.
Yeah, but a lot of people want it.
But a lot of people want it, including the evil group, the Kagami group. And then the resistance group named Arms is just like trying to protect them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whereas the evil group, they're sort of a big business conglomerate. Mm-hmm. And they're basically enslaving a lot of the Arms. Not all of them. Some of them seem to be willingly working with them, but they're doing some shady shit.
Yep.
This is probably going to be fairly black and white as far as morality goes.
It's fine.
I was reading through the original Kickstarter stuff like a week or two ago when we watched this show, and the original character names for the main two characters were hero and heroine. So it's really? Okay, so they didn't come into this with too deep of a well for story ways, but it's fine, and I'm having fun.
Yeah. So yeah, show looks really cool. Just hoping for more action. That episode 3 action scene with the worm guy was really cool. Where they activated the trigger arm. I thought that was a really cool scene. So I'm hoping for more of that.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get it. I'm sure that's the reason for the show.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is a watch.
Yeah.
Next one. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I like this one. Okay. We're gonna keep watching it.
Yep. Next one is 365 Days Till the Wedding.
Okay. This one I kind of like.
Okay.
And in the way that if we never watch another episode, I'd probably be okay with it. Because it could so easily fall into the ice guy and his cool female colleague territory.
It could. I don't think it will, though.
Also, that bitch loves maps.
Dude, she loves maps.
The people... Well, who am I kidding? The people that listen to this know that we record it in a room that's surrounded by maps.
Yeah.
But in case you're not one of our friends and you're listening to this, the place where we record this, our dining room, / board game room, because we play board games in it more often than we eat
Yes.
in here, is also my map room. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, if you count the globe, maps in this room that are displayed.
Mm-hmm.
There are maps in a cabinet, too, that are no longer being displayed. They had to make room for the magic cards and the waterfall picture and the I Fight Dragons signed t-shirt and the sword.
And the Adventurers League, we want you.
Yeah. Well, that was needed. That was one of the first things up in this room. Also, it's on with duct tape, so if we take it off, the wallpaper's coming off, too.
Okay.
Which is fine. Anyway,
so
maps are cool.
Yeah. Basic plot is the guy named O'Hara and a girl named Hanjoji work at this travel agency.
Mm-hmm.
And they are opening up an agency in Alaska. And they basically said that, hey, if you're not married or in a relationship, you're probably going to be shipped to Alaska. And neither of them want to transfer there. So they're going to fake a proposal. They're going to be, they're pretend engaged.
Yep. Somebody does know. They got a disguised voice phone call.
But yeah, it's just like the proposal. The movie. Well, kind of.
It involves Alaska and a fake proposal.
Yes! That's it.
But in this one, they avoid going to Alaska. Or they're trying to avoid.
They're trying to not go to Alaska.
They're trying to not go to America. Whereas in the proposal, they're trying to not leave America.
Yes. But yeah, the show's okay. I don't know if I'm as into it as you are.
And that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if we never watched it again, I'd be fine with that. But I'd also I kind of want to see where it goes.
Just a couple notes. Let's see. Oh, I got a business idea: is fake wedding services.
Go on.
Just like you perform a wedding, but it's not legit. So it's just like, hey, you want to get your parents off your back? Fake wedding.
Sign this wedding registry. All right. It's
just like super small print on the very bottom left. This is a non-binding agreement.
Yeah. Or just like it's a forgery, but with super small print that says this is for gag purposes only and should not be held up in court for legal reasons. We have to print this. But otherwise, it looks really great. You just put that in a frame that covers that little writing there and hang it up, and there you go.
There you go. You're fake married. Parents will get off your back.
Or just like, I don't know, quit romanticizing marriage. Like, you can get married without being in love. It happens all the time.
Okay. Other note is Princess is a lesbian.
Princess is a lesbian. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm like, who's Princess? Oh, wait, you mean the actual European princess that comes to visit Japan.
Yes.
And is a weeb. Yeah, she's a lesbian. Mm-hmm.
So, I guess
case in point, she got married to somebody she does not love.
Correct. They did get married, yeah. But she loves the other lady.
Yeah. She got married to somebody, like a prince or somebody of her class or station, and then she's got a lover.
But yeah, I guess my thing is like, this isn't going to end up working, but they're going to fall in love anyways.
Yeah, they'll get exposed and then married for real. Like, okay,
that's fine. I'm here for the ride. Sure.
Yeah,
why not? This could be fun. But yeah, I thought it was okay. We might watch it. It's up to you, I think, on this one.
I think it'll probably be the last one that we get caught up on.
Okay.
So some of them we're not coming back to. Some of them we're going to get caught up on possibly later tonight.
Maybe. We'll see.
You don't want to watch the rest of Dan to Dan tonight?
Nah. Not Dan to Dan. That one's too intense.
I guess that's fair. I guess it is almost 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just go back to watching How I Met Your Mother.
This is the reason why we're recording. So,
Hey. We're ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm. We could have been more ahead, though.
We could have. We could have had this recorded last week. You were correct.
No, somebody had to start watching How I Met Your Mother.
Hey, it's fine.
All right.
But there was other things going on recently that's been delaying this.
That's fine. I understand. Next one is Blue Box.
Blue Box.
We just watched this one tonight.
Yeah, this is where we get the baller girl bathwater.
Mm-hmm.
Because you looked at me and said, okay, so this is a 2 sports anime.
Yes.
Guy
plays badminton, Taiki. Girl, Chinatsu. Plays basketball. Taiki has a huge crush on Chi, which is her nickname. And she ends up moving in with him and his family.
Because their moms are friends.
Yes.
And her family is moving out of the country, but she wants to continue her high school basketball career.
Yes.
She is a year older and like a rising star of the basketball team. He is good, but not the greatest at
He's also young.
He's a year younger.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, he's playing with like third years and stuff. So
yeah.
He's got an uphill battle.
Yes. But yeah, so they start living together, and it's sports anime / romance. I like this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one we'll continue.
Yeah.
I can see me not really like this. Feels like a show that Rowie would be like, oh yeah, I like this show.
Yeah, it's a real Rowie energy. We're gonna do a Rowie roast.
I thought about like as we started recording, I'm like, I should have just like texted Rowie like, hey, do you have any thoughts on this, or this? And then he'd be like, what's that? And I'd look up the Japanese name, and then he'd say, oh, that. Yeah, I read all the manga for that.
Yeah, this is an anime where like if it's based on a manga, Rowie's read that manga
for sure. So it kind of, I don't know. I worry that the first season is just not going to have any development.
Okay.
But I'm along for the ride. I think this show has the potential to be Nexy. I feel like they draw the next sexy in
a little bit. I got it. Who is this? Studio Wit? Is that who it was?
I don't remember.
I think it might have been Studio Wit.
But it's just like the way that the necks are drawn, it feels pretty Nexy to me.
Okay. I wasn't catching that, but I just wrote Haru as his enemy / wingman.
Yeah. He's nagging him to looking good.
Yes. Some things that might happen is there could be a potential love triangle or square maybe, but he has his girlfriend.
I think it's a triangle at this point.
Yeah. There might be the it's a triangle. We'll say it's a triangle.
Yeah. I mean, there's the other guy. There's the underappreciated glasses Kun. Like, could he enter the fray?
Maybe. Doubtful, but
it feels like the one guy was entering the fray and then immediately ducked out.
Yeah.
So, I think it's just going to be triangle.
Okay. But there's some potential in this show. I'm always a sucker for sports.
Yeah, I like that it's neither sports nor romance, but both, if that makes sense. Like if the romance was just like, hey, and there's this girl here, but she's not really a part of it. Mm-hmm. Or if it was like, oh, hey, and they play a sport, but they're not really a part of it. I like that it's kind of both.
Well, it's kind of like a sports forward school. They're known for their athletics.
Yeah, okay, then that's in the fiction of the show. I'm just
saying.
All I'm saying is that the show could have just been like, yeah, they're on the badminton team together, and actually this is just a romance, and the badminton's not important.
Gotcha.
You know, or the basketball's not important, or whatever. But no, it's like, okay, they're trying to give equal parts. You know, he's got sort of like a goal, like, yeah, if I can do this, then I might feel at her level and will ask her out. But he's also just like, but also I just like playing badminton. Yeah. Like, that's not, you know, this helps, sure, but it's not my main reason for doing this. Yeah.
He didn't join the badminton team to impress her. He just likes badminton.
Yeah.
He loves shuttling those guys.
I kind of get, like, it could be... The other show that has done this well is Chihaya Furu, where it's like, hey, this is sort of about the romance, but, well, it's very much a drama, love triangle thing, but also we like Karuta.
I need to start watching that again.
Yeah, you never finished it.
No.
One time, my brother, my younger of my two older brothers, was here, and I was talking about how many copies of the other guys we had, or like we had 2 copies of some movie on the shelf, and he looks on the shelf and is like, well, it looks like you got like 7 copies of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and I'm like, that's a TV show. That's Chihaya Furu. Those are not all the same thing. That's just a multi-disc set there, bud.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's my Chihaya Furu Chitty Chitty Bang Bang story.
Cool. You got anything else to say?
About Blue Box? Nah.
Okay. This is probably a watch, right?
Yeah, this one's on Netflix.
Yes.
I think everything else that we've talked about has been on Crunchyroll.
Correct.
So far.
Next one is Dan to Dan.
Yeah, Dan to Dan is on Netflix and Crunchyroll.
Correct.
We watch it on Crunchyroll because we don't have ads for Crunchyroll. So, Dan to Dan is good. I see why people are getting hype about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun action. It's fun characters. It's silly and a little scary at times at equal measures. Like the alien dudes when you see them in their human disguises in the first episode. Those are fucking creepy and silly at the same time.
Yeah. It's like you're disguising yourself as humans, and that's what you go with.
The Turbo Granny from is silly and creepy looking at the same time. Genuinely threatening.
Yes.
All the aliens want to harvest humans' banana organs, which I don't know exactly what that is.
I don't know.
Because it's not, they tell her that they're going to have sex with her, then extract her uterus and banana organs. So I don't know what a girl's banana organs are, but the aliens want it.
Mm-hmm. And they don't get it.
But I don't know. This one's a lot of fun. I get it.
What is it?
Why people like it.
Brief summary. Momo believes in ghosts. Kin, also known as Okarun, believes in aliens. They go to prove each other wrong. Okarun gets cursed by a horny granny.
Ghost. And we should
ghost.
really note it's not just a horny granny. It's a horny granny ghost.
Or horny granny ghost. And Momo gets psychic powers.
After aliens try to increase her body temperature to make her want to have sex with them.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to avoid that one, but go ahead.
Look, this show doesn't avoid it. This show is... there has been no actual sexual violence, but there has been some pretty close calls.
They fight a sumo alien and horny fucked up aliens.
Yep.
And then Momo's grandma's hot.
Yeah. That's my dibs. That's dibs count. I got Momo's grandma.
Okay. Oh, Blue Box dibs. I got both moms.
Yeah, you did get both moms. One of them moved to America, Ben.
They just said overseas.
Yeah, but it's not a sea between...
Just saying.
Japan and the rest of Asia.
They could have passed both. They could have taken the long way.
I just don't think they're going to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you would say overseas if you're going to Europe or Asia. That's overland.
Okay. I'm just saying.
So maybe it's South America.
There you go. South America.
Could be Australia.
Crikey.
Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, watch Dan to Dan.
Yeah. Good stuff. Weird. Cool animation.
Yes. It is. They'll have little moments. Like there's one where they're just really messing with the shadow boxing of the shot. But that was just for like a scene. I'd hope that's not just a one thing, that they stay more consistent and they don't get like lazy with their shots, but that was neat.
Okay.
But yeah, fun, weird animation. Almost got a little bit of that. Well, it's Science Saru, right?
Yes.
And it's who did ping pong the animation again? What's the guy's name?
You're talking about Uasa?
Yeah, Masaki Uasa.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like ugly, beautiful animation at times.
See, I don't think this one's as ugly though.
No, it's much cleaner.
It's just,
but
it's
I
more
feel
of that
like,
outlandish style. I think you can.
Yeah, the weird like arm angles and stuff like
zooms and almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I just got a little bit of a vibe, like a cleaned up vibe of that.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. So Dan to Dan is a watch.
Yep.
Next one I have written down is Negative Positive Angler.
Okay.
So my biggest thing with this show is it needs more fishing.
Yeah.
It's a fishing anime. There's barely any. There's more running than fishing.
Yeah. The first 3 episodes of this.
Yes.
I have a feeling it's going to get into more. I like the main girl in this show.
Yeah.
I like the soundtrack of this show too. I don't really remember the soundtrack of this show, but I wrote down that I like the soundtrack of this show. It's almost like lo-fi
you're right.
sort of stuff.
Now that you say it.
I like that there are character designs that just do not fit into the rest of the show's animation.
Okay, you're right.
Which kind of just, there's enough of them that it's like, that's never mind. It's not that it doesn't fit into the show's animation. It's just some characters have different animation styles. It's fine. If it was just one character, it'd be like, it's a little weird. I think the sadness part of it plays off a little cheesy at times.
Yes.
Which is almost always my biggest gripe with stuff like this. I mean, that was my gripe.
Well, they literally start the show with, you have 2 years to live.
Yeah. It's the same gripe I had with my wife became an elementary school student. It just, I can't always take anime, drama, sadness seriously.
Okay.
It just comes off as cheesy at times. So, sometimes it works really well. When Marnie was there. Sorry. So I don't know if I'd want to continue with this show or not. I think it would be worth continuing, but I think it's low on the list.
I would almost say like this one's also like, if it's getting good reviews, I'll give it a shot. But if it's kind of just like whatever, I probably won't go back.
So I'd probably go to 365 Days to the Wedding before going to this one.
Okay, that makes sense for you.
Yeah, but I mean it's a toss up either way.
I think I'd go to this one first, just because there's fishing.
Okay. Are you a big
I'm
fisher?
hoping for more... not really.
But you
appreciate
see the allure.
I appreciate fishing. I don't really do it, though. I need more of it. Come on. You promised fishing. You're giving me fishing undertones.
My coffee doesn't give me coffee undertones.
It gives me coffee.
I was gonna say I wrote down a long time ago. I wrote down like a joke idea if I were ever to do like an open mic night thing. This was back in high school. I wrote this because I was still in the Boy Scouts. Because my Boy Scoutmaster was talking about his view on like religion. And he's like, the way I see it, you could go to church or you could go fishing and enjoy the beauty of God's nature. Like that's what he said. And I'm like, the way I see it, why would I want to get up early and go out fishing when I could be sleeping in church?
Okay.
That was my joke.
Cool.
I don't think it holds up.
I would have just joked about Subway.
We're not going into this. I'm not doing this with you, Ben. I'm not talking about Effingham Subway with you.
It was a Subway. Okay, so this is probably pass, but might check it out.
Yep, if we're like looking for something to watch.
So the last one I have is Ranma 1/2, the remake.
I want to know your thoughts on this before I give my thoughts.
It's been a while since we watched it, but I had fun with it. It's really fun.
That's what I wrote down. Having fun with this one. I've seen a lot. I say a lot. I burnt myself out on like binging some Ranma 1/2.
Okay.
I don't know, like 10 years ago. No, 7 years ago, something like that. Our friend Table recommended it to me. So I watched the original, and I don't know how many episodes I watched. It was somewhere between 30 and 130.
So there's that many.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Okay. I didn't know exactly how much there is.
This is one of those long-running shows.
Okay.
So, now, whether or not the remake is going to be the same way, I don't know.
Okay.
I know in the original show, they introduced a character that I think they don't introduce in the manga until like way later, but they introduced her in like episode 2 or whatever, because like, people really like this character, so we better put her into the show sooner than normal. So like there might be a lot of like anime original stuff, and this one might go closer to the manga since it's a remake, or trim some stuff. I don't know. There might be some outdated. I think the original one's got some outdated like gender positions on things and jokes that hopefully are handled a little bit more tact in this. Not that it was terrible or anything, but it's just like when the show is about a guy who turns into a girl magically and back into a guy, like they're gonna make some jokes that just don't hold up back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I'm having fun with this one. This is one that I'd be like, we'll watch some Ranma, right?
Yeah.
We're already on Netflix.
A couple episodes on, right?
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna watch this show to completion.
Oh no! Like my thing is like I'll watch this first season, have fun, but if there's anything else, probably not.
Yeah. This is no long running like Detective Conan. I can wheel you back in with that.
Yeah.
But it'll be a while before I could try to reel you back in with Ranma 1.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Give it a couple years.
Okay.
Then you'll be like, Ranma 1 season 2? Okay. And then you'll be like, all right, I see why I waited a couple years. And we'll do it again. The cycle will repeat until one of us dies at the age of 40.
10 more years, baby.
Hey, 10 more years and 17 more days.
I guess I have technically less than 10 years then.
Yeah. But, I might be the one that dies at 40. I'll probably be the one that dies at 40.
Okay. You got anything else to say about Ranma 1/2?
Nah. I'm having fun. It's a world with no nipples, I guess what I'll say.
World with no nipples.
At least the Netflix version is a world with no nipples. Maybe the Blu-ray release will. That sounds like something Japan has done before.
Yeah.
It's most certainly not needed, but I'm just saying that you're going to make a lot of the worst anime fans imaginable unhappy if you don't have an uncensored Blu-ray. That's all I'm going to say.
Who cares?
The worst anime fans imaginable. Did you not just hear what I said?
No.
They care. They're the core Blu-ray buyers.
Oh, okay. I only buy Blu-rays when they're on sale because they're expensive.
Yeah. Should buy more anime Blu-rays.
So I've got a little bit more room on my shelf.
Just get another shelf. That's the problem.
I need more shelves. I don't have room for shelves.
You got to expand to the basement.
I don't want to go to the basement.
There's no room. That's where I've moved a lot of my movie collections.
Yeah, your movie collection's in the spot where we can put them.
Well, we can get more shelves down there.
It's fine. I'm happy.
Well. Yeah. So then the last thing that we're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, you got one more thing to talk about.
Yeah, I'm watching Dragonball Daima. Just the first 3 episodes so far. I will probably watch the rest of it. Just like I'll probably watch all Dragon Ball stuff that comes out. They got me hooked young.
Yep.
I don't know what to say. I'm in it for life now. It's been fun. They're definitely doing a lot of things to be like, hey, you know how Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo, they're all like overpowered as shit. Well, not only did we turn them into children, but don't worry, they kept their powers because we know that people are going to be pissed if they can't go Super Saiyan in this show. But that's okay. We're giving Goku his power pull back because his sense of reach and balance is off, shifting to his young side so quickly. So, he's not going to be as good at fighting because he's used to having a different, center of gravity, and his reach used to be longer. So and the bonus, we can bring the power pull back. Great. Also, they're in the demon world, and the atmosphere there is heavy, and that is causing them to move slower. So, we don't have to worry about all that shit. But don't worry, he's still going to be, win all the fights or whatever. It's just going to be more more entertaining of a watch. And I'm like, I get it. You have to do all this shit just to make it, a show that can be what you want without having to worry about the stakes being so fucking high. Because if you introduce Goku into a low stakes scenario, which they do from time to time, like when in the Buu saga, they enter the World Martial Arts Tournament and he's fighting regular people. Or, the Z fighters are fighting regular people. Or when Gohan is a crime fighter stopping guns and shit. It's like, yeah, you just wreck house. You are a god among men. So, instead of making all the demons so powerful and such a big threat, we'll just nerf these characters. And that's fine. Now we can tell an adventure story with these characters again. Yeah, that's Dragon Ball Daima. I'm having fun with it so far. I'm only 3 episodes in.
Okay. I haven't watched it. Because I don't watch Dragon Ball. You got anything else to say?
I don't know. I think this has been a good season so far.
It's been fun.
There are shows that we made the list of like, oh, I'd want to check that out, but we just did not give us enough interest. Like I said, there have been some things going on that have just been tiring me out recently.
Yeah, I know.
And things are good right now, but it's still just...
I'd say it's been good, but nothing's stuck out yet.
Day-to-day, stuck out.
Okay. I guess I'm not as high on that as you.
Okay.
I think it's good, but...
We'll see.
But yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening. You can follow us, I guess, still on X at anime_territory.
We're still there for now.
Okay. What else? We're on all podcast services, or most of them.
The big ones.
We're on YouTube, Anime Territory, or the Cityscape. I think that's it.
Stuff for the yawn there, but you are now leaving the Anime Territory.
Goodbye.